Alright guys, welcome back once again to another G.I. Joe Retaliation Wave 3.5 action figure review. This time around I am reviewing Stormshadow, and I know I'm probably going to get criticized for a few people, but I have to say that this figure is probably my favorite figure in the wave, and I'll probably get criticized because a lot of people will say that we basically already had a figure almost exactly like this with the Renegades Stormshadow, which you can see I just placed in the background. But if you look at the Renegades Stormshadow, it's kind of different in a lot of ways. This one here, the new one, the Wave 3.5 one, is a lot more accurate to the comic and the cartoon, whereas this one is sort of a hybrid of the Renegades cartoon show and the comic/cartoon. For instance, in the cartoon and in the comic book, Stormshadow had bare arms with these sort of like these wraps that covered up his Arashikage tattoo. Um, his mask was much more like this, almost exactly like that. He had these sort of shoulder pad things coming out with his gi there. So this figure is way more accurate to the cartoon and the comic. Whereas this one back here, like I said, is a hybrid. And of course, this figure came with the Renegades version of the head, and it also came with a different sort of a sash and belt combo that you could swap out to make him look like the Renegades version. I love this figure. I just think it's really cool. It's sort of like a more realistic version of Stormshadow in a way. As a ninja, he'd probably be dressed a bit more like that in real life than he would sort of like this with the bare arms. But this, of course, is the ultimate Stormshadow, the version that we've all been after for so long. And I just think Hasbro nailed it with this figure. As far as accessories that comes with him, basically all the same accessories that came with the Renegades Ultimate Stormshadow back here come with him. There's a few slight differences. For instance, the handles on his are red. It's been a while since I've actually messed with this figure, but if I turn it around, and I'll turn him around, you can see that the backpacks are pretty much the same. Another difference is that the lower shin wrap things are a bit different. He's got more of this banded sort of thing, whereas he has sort of a wrap. I don't know what you would call that, honestly, above his boots, just to pull his things tight. Where these kind of look more like wrapped around bandages type of thing. The only other major difference in these figures is these two figures, this one and this one, is that this one unfortunately does have the rocker ankles. Which actually for this figure doesn't bother me quite so much because you're gonna pose him like a ninja. He's gonna probably have a wide stance, and he's probably gonna need those rocker ankles. I still always prefer the swivel over the rocker any day. But the feet are pretty cool. They look well sculpted. They're different. They're completely different feet than the other one. Other things of note, he comes with all the same, the little package of shuriken, the size, the bow, the arrow, all that stuff, the little nunchuck thing. He comes obviously with the fan, which I think is a nice touch. And this one does include an unmasked version of his head, and of course, the movie Stormshadow head is a wise choice, I think, because it connects this figure to the movie, since it is a retaliation figure, which it has absolutely nothing to do with retaliation, but it does connect it. And hey, the actor is definitely I don't want to pronounce his name and mispronounce it, but Bing Hung Lee or something like that. He is Stormshadow now in our imaginations, especially for kids who are just catching up. I included my ultimate, again, ultimate retaliation stormshadow custom that I kind of bashed together. This is a no paint custom aside from the head that you see down here. And what I did was, it actually was a pretty, if you want to make this figure, this is pretty much about as ultimate of a retaliation figure as you're going to get, in that he's basically a bash of both Rise of Cobra Storm Shadows, the Wave 1 Rise of Cobra with the little skirt dealy down here, and the Paris Pursuit Storm Shadow with that head, and of course the collar dealy, which he has in Retaliation, and then of course the new sculpt's Retaliation Storm Shadow head, which I repainted down here, and because the eyes were god awful on it, they had no eyelids. And then of course, I gave him his size, I gave him his movie swords, and to me that would be a Retaliation, a Retaliation Storm Shadow. So I hate to say it, but I think he is, this figure is my favorite in the wave. I know when I first saw him, he was sort of like, we just kind of had that figure. I had that feeling that I'm sure a lot of people had. It's basically just a little update. But, there's been a lot of changes. The legs are almost completely different on that figure. The torso is completely new. The arms are new. I mean, it's almost a completely new figure. I would say maybe the only thing that's the same is the lower torso joint. So it's the ultimate Storm Shadow for collectors like me who love the comic book and love the old cartoon series. So I went a little long on this video than I have been doing, but I hope that I made a few points that maybe resonate with you. So I hope you enjoy this video. And I've got 2 more Wave 3.5 figures to do, which I will be knocking out hopefully tonight. And until next time, please like, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff for my Google account or my YouTube account, blah, blah, blah. And until then, Cobra, and long live the Arashikage clan. Bye-bye.